There's honestly nothing funnier than like a 2-ton hairless chicken with tiny arms running around in prehistoric Earth.
But they could eat me.
They could eat you.
They could chase me down and just...
Yeah, because they got big leg, big quads, tiny arms.
Yeah.
Why even have
I'm
arms?
the opposite. I have tiny legs, big arms. I'm the opposite of a T-Rex.
Your T-Rex's ugly cousin.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So, first of all, National Geographic, chill with the clickbait.
Oh my God. This clickbait, this stuff that these media companies are doing. Tell me
how you perceive this. Billions of T-Rex likely roam the Earth, paleontologists report. What's the first visual image in your head?
That there were literally like how there's 7.5 billion people on Earth.
Yeah.
There were billions of T-Rex and they were just everywhere, like people.
Yeah. No, we need to find clarity, right? Because this is what happens with scientific papers and everything else. It's just they make these huge claims. People read half the abstract and call it a day, right? Paleontologists figured out how many T-Rex lived on Earth, and they found that about 20,000 would have been alive at any given time. So for 2 to 3 million years times 20,000. So 20,000 per year for 2 to 3 million years.
Now you have billions.
We have billions.
But you have 20,000 on the whole globe. So the odds of you running into a T-Rex is probably pretty rare.
Yeah, it's probably pretty effing slim. I don't even know where they would hang out.
You would probably get ate by something else.
You got to be careful with how we look at data, because we can already, in our own perception of what we think is reality, can skew it immediately. It says on average, researchers estimate that 20,000 T-Rex lived on any one time for 127,000 generations. Do you know how many grandmas that is? 127,000 grandmas.
That's crazy.
That's bananas.
Montana, they were talking about Montana because they found a bunch of T-Rex bones there.
Yeah, the population density was 1 every 42 square miles. 42 square miles sounds small. It's not. It's huge.
Yeah.
If I said go search 42 square miles of the ocean, you'd be like, I can't. There's just too much area. So
there were probably, this is 250 million was when humans started kind of populating, right?
Yeah.
So, you would probably maybe see one in your lifetime?
Yeah. Maybe. That's like, it's like, I found Bigfoot.
Yeah. Is there 20,000 Bigfoots? I don't know.
20,000 big feet is a lot of big feet.
Yeah.
Is that a yard? I found a yard of big feet.
I have a problem with Bigfoot because I've seen bears stand up and they walk around standing up sometimes.
Sure.
And so you get a big black bear, a big grizzly bear, or even a Kodiak bear.
Oh, yeah.
A Kodiak bear standing up is who knows how tall that thing is.
Tell you what, though, I don't want to get swiped by it.
Yeah, or a brown bear, any of them. If they're walking around, because they'll do that, you'll just walk on 2 legs and just kind of do this.
Yeah.
If I'm see something and that may look like a Bigfoot to me, especially if I'm scared and it's bigger than me and
but
that type of thing. Yeah.
But and it's in the dark and its eyes are red because I put my light at it.
Because how many bears are there? Millions, probably, huh?
More than a T-Rex right now on the planet.
So so let's get into this article. This article
I can't go any further.
Was with Science Magazine. And I know, then they do this too. They make you have to sign up.
No, I got to work around. I use the reader thing up at the top.
Yeah, they blocked me too. But this study was published in 1993 when you were talking about the 42 square miles. But it originally was published in 1993, and then they came around and they came up with those same numbers again. Yeah. So let's talk about paleontology and data, because I think this is really important.
So paleontology, depending on where I find my bones, which are difficult to find, things also shift because of glacial patterns, right? Glacial tracks. And then I have inconsistencies with carbon-14 dating, which gives me the approximate age. And then also I have to use, to the best of my ability, a way to assemble these bones or these fragments or pieces to give me a full picture of what something looks like. And then everything I don't know, I have to fill it in. Right? So paleontology, super cool. Dinosaurs, first of all. We got plenty of that stuff here in New Mexico. But a lot is missed, a lot is unknown, and a lot is statistically in many different directions.
So it's kind of like physics.
It's kind of like theoretical physicists, right? You want to know why? Because if you're not there experiencing it directly, you don't really know for a fact.
Mm-mm.
So until we develop something like a temporal drive in one of our ships and shift back in time.
Or do like Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Where
It
we
like bring back the genetics,
bring
right?
back, yeah.
Like I got a piece of amber with a mosquito in it,
Mm-hmm.
and I take the mosquito blood out because it bit the T-Rex or something, and I'm like, ooh, now we're gonna get a little crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's different, because then you can actually look at them with their own genetic coding to see how they just work naturally. But right now we have to guess, and they are honest about that with how they thought about that population density by using Demuth's law. And Demuth, that was an ecologist from the University of California, Santa Barbara, where they took a relationship between body mass, so like the actual size of the mammal itself, or for instance, this
Reptile, whatever.
this reptile, and population density to figure out how much of that species actually lived in one area at a specific time. So all these things are pretty much these statistical guesses about, is this a proper ratio? And that's how paleontology also matches a lot of other, scientific, material science that we're working on right now. And we have a hard issue as human beings when we look at data. First of all, is like, did they give me the right perspective, or people twist it to make it sound good, like this article? Is that if I'm not there, I really don't know for a fact. So why don't we focus on things that we absolutely do know, right? I absolutely do know that there are huge pieces of bone. I absolutely do know that the skull is of something that I would coin to be a dinosaur. Do I absolutely know what it looked like? No. Am I 100% sure of how it's been put together? No. Do I know how smart it was? No. Do I know specifically the plants it ate? No, not really.
But this whole classification of data.
Yeah.
It's like, we made a mistake with Pluto.
It's not a planet.
Yeah. It was a planet. And then, we found out, that certain moons could be planet. The list goes on.
Depending on the size or these characteristics.
Yeah. It's like, who came up with all that?
Yeah. Who decided that the dinosaur is a dinosaur or not a dinosaur? Who decides that it sits in this, this area of time as opposed to another? What if my carbon dating's wrong and maybe this aquatic animal that we didn't think existed prehistorically actually did exist? Well, there's a lot of inexactness to what we do. So we need to focus on fundamental things that are absolutely observable, objective, right in front of us, and don't apply so much theory to then define some sort of picture about what we dream it up to be.
And that's why TARTLE's so beautiful, because we can actually go into a time machine. We can actually go back and we can stand in front of a T-Rex if we don't die.
Yeah.
We can stand in front of a T-Rex and say, it is this year,
Yep.
this time, here is a T-Rex.
Yep.
And then I traveled 42 miles around and on my spacecraft going back in time, and I found that there was 3 more in 42 miles. Well, is that an anomaly? Well, let me go check another place.
Right.
Oh, wow, there was 5 in 42 miles.
So,
well, my data's wrong.
I can have a relationship with all these different T-Rex?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay, now I really understand the Tyrannosaurus because the relationship's there, and I got the data directly from the T-Rex. Rather than I'm coming up with an idea to write a story and say that this is going on, and then my Demuth's law, they call it a law, but the law is implying things. Why do laws have to imply something? If it's truth, there's no implication. It just is what it is, correct?
Well, in a court of law, it's that way. You would hope. You're not gonna send somebody to prison for life based off of a hunch or a Bayesian.
This is great.
The probability that you committed the crime.
This is great. So imagine if we're going to take your whole idea here. There's a quote here in this National Geographic article. It says, in paleontology, it is very hard to estimate things. Yeah, because you're not there,
Right.
The data's already, it's a mess. And so this person was like, Charles Marshall said, so what I've started to do is to think less about estimating something and more about bracketing it. I'm going to put a limit on where I think it could be at the top.
Oh, this is even worse.
Or the bottom. He said, can I put a robust upper and lower bound on it? That's what his interest is. If my estimations suck, which they have sucked, right? Now, because I can't figure out the data, because I can't find the truth in it, I'm just going to put a bounds in it. I can say life only exists in between here and here. 42 square miles is where we understand all of the universe.
Segmentation. Here we go again.
Dude, the same
with data
thing
and segmentation. We talk about this shit over and over and over and
Don't
over
do it
again.
to the dinosaurs. You already do it to human beings.
I can't guess accurately on the data. So what I'm going to do is, so maybe my probability of accuracy will be better if I can segment these Prius owners.
What type of ad do I deliver to a T-Rex? Is it the same one that goes to a brontosaurus? Probably the meat eater and the vegetable eater.
Yeah,
they probably want different ads.
They want different ads. Yeah.
I'm going to eat my microphone.
And it's all based off their environment, and where are they at on the economical scale?
Did the T.rex give back? What was it like in the complex system of prehistory? I don't know because I wasn't there. All I know is that it existed, it died, and I'm holding its bone.
Yeah, and I think this is why TARTLE is so important for humanity, because we're skipping all the bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't mean to oversimplify it, but that's the truth.
That's when you go to the source, you timestamp it, know for a fact it happened right here at this time from this specific person. It's right there. It's logged. But we're going back and creating logs of things when we weren't there to log it. Think about that. That's like someone going into the history books and say, I'm just going to rewrite it all. You weren't there. What are you talking about?
Well, they do that all the time.
They do it constantly.
With history. And you were talking about the Encyclopedia Britannica, where they just...
The 1954,
Just
52,
take shit
54
out.
Encyclopedia Britannica.
Oh, let's take this history part out.
Oh, that's some interesting data. Let's remove that page.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, you heard it here first. There were billions of T-Rexes all at the same time. There was no chance of survival for any other species.